for strengthening the tendons and ligaments. This is the leg presses, you all. This is what I do for my mass building movement. As I told you earlier, I don't squat any longer. But I'm going to tell you right now, you can get the same development with these leg presses as you can with squats. Main thing is you got to do is push yourself. And what I'm doing right now, and let me emphasize this, I'm just warming up. Every exercise I do, even though it's the same body part, I do a couple light warm-ups to avoid injury. Now, something I do different than most people is I do a lot of reps. No less than 20, and yes, I do go as high as 50, 60, and 70. And I've come to find out that this is what's help develop my quads even more so. And one thing else, I used to have knee problems, and I quit wearing wraps, knee wraps. A lot of people use that as a crutch. And when I stopped wearing knee wraps, my legs responded more. My knees quit hurting me, and I felt more of a excruciating pump, and I wasn't able, should I say, not to use the same poundages, but as time went on, and I adjusted not using wraps, I got stronger, much stronger. Let's go, 60. You think I can do it? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I have faith in each and every one of you all, and I just want you to have faith in me. Okay, let's do it. A popular exercise that I never do is hack squats. Ask any orthopedic surgeon, and he'll tell you how devastating hacks are to your knees. Fifty. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 60. Man, if you're not queasy after that, you don't get queasy. Don't let this stop you, though. I've thrown up many times and come right back out and did the same thing over and over. You know? We're going to hamstrings. I always do quads and hams together. I seem to be stronger on hamstrings after quads versus doing them segregated. But I got to emphasize, you got to give it 110%. Let's do hamstrings. Come on. I'll often conclude my quad workout by returning to the leg extension and doing 2 or 3 more sets with 30 or 40 pounds, just to get as much blood into the muscle as I can. Lying leg curls are my primary hamstring activity. As always, I do a few light steps. I'll do these in controlled fashion, contracting the hamstrings hard at the top. And you know my motto by now. It's the quality of the movement, not the quantity of the weight. 5 or 6 sets of 10 to 25 reps really stimulate my hamstrings. One more. That's it. It's the last of the leg curls. Wait a minute. I also do seated leg curls for 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 25 repetitions. These really give you strong contraction of the hamstrings. I got one more. One more. Okay. That's it. Bad thing about this movement is getting out of it. My God. I don't know how many people do this. I think it's one of the best ones you could do overall for hamstrings, for the reason being, it's the simple fact that it isolates the hamstrings, such as a preacher curl for your biceps. This is it right here. From nothing to these right here. That concludes our quad and ham workout. Thumbs up. Thanks for being here for the leg workout. Let's go on to calves now. If you noticed, I wear boots when I train. The reason I wear boots is for the simple fact of stability. I have very small feet. I wear a 7.5. My feet kill me if I wear anything else but when it comes to doing calves, which is what we're about ready to do, I need, and it's most important, that I get a full contraction, and I cannot do it with boots. So what I use, you all, I either go barefooted, or I use something that's flat-soled, and this is what I suggest to each and every one of you all, to actually maximize the full benefit of calf development, getting your calf work. They might not look the greatest, but they get the job done. Okay, let's start our calf workout. Let me say something before we start. One thing we got to emphasize on is a full contraction, all the way up, all the way down. What I do is a high volume day, a low volume day. I train calves every other day. On alternate days that I don't do calves, I do abs. And we'll talk about that a little later. But right now, I'm going to start off with a low volume day. And what my low volume is 15 to 25, maybe 30 reps. On a high volume, I'll do as much as 100 reps, 50 to 100. And believe it or not, I won't even use 20 or 30 pounds, because still at the same time, I want to get the full contraction. So let's go ahead and start with a warm-up. Just do a couple light warm-ups, and we'll get going, okay? Again, we got to adjust the equipment for us short people. A lot of people say you have to be born with good calves. I sure wasn't. My calves used to be, well,
pitiful, pathetic, putrid.
Well, you get the point. Standing calf raises are the basic mass builder. Again, note my form. A full stretch, then all the way up for a maximum contraction. The standing calf raises focus on the gastrocnemius, which is the large outer portion of the calf. But you also want to work the soleus, which gives you the width and the depth to the calf. That's where seated calf raises come in. This exercise applies all the stress on the soleus, which lies underneath the more visible gastrocnemius, but is just as important. Again, I focus on doing full movements, all the way up and all the way down. As far as sets and reps on these, I'm really instinctive. I do them until I think the soleus has had enough. That's right. Now, we finished legs, we finished calves. Personally, I like to do triceps with my quads, hams, and calves. It's a small body part, and I find I have enough energy to go ahead and complete it. Now, what I usually start off with is tricep pushdowns. And there's a very important factor why I do that. The simple fact is I acquired an injury a few years back, so I'm very paranoid. And what I feel is this is one of the best elbow movements, or tricep movements, to warm the elbow up, should I say. And what I'll do is I'll do 4 or 5 light sets, pyramiding the weight, and then I'll start my initial set. So let's start the warm-up. One thing you want to emphasize on, up to the sternum, full contraction all the way down, up to the sternum. Always be in control. Remember, if you remember anything I ever tell you, quality, not quantity. Now that I'm thoroughly warmed up, let's start with our first heavy set. I usually start from the point of 110 pounds. I might move all the way down to 160, 170, keeping my reps between 10 and 20 at all times. I'll do 4 to 6 work sets of 10 to 20 repetitions, bringing the bar all the way up to my sternum and fully contracting the triceps at the bottom. Another reason why I use this as one of my first movements, I feel a pre-exhausted triceps. Therefore, with my elbow being so sensitive, the next movements I go to, I won't be able to use the poundages that I would if I normally started first on them. Okay, we just completed the tricep push downs. My next movement, and my primary movement for the day, is going to be close grip benches. Now, I prefer to do them with the Smith machine versus the free weights. The simple fact is more isolated. I get a better feel out of it. You just want to take a medium grip